Hello and welcome, and so here we are at the end of 2021. There has been many models and some great reveals. I think 2021 has been the year of me trying new things, especially when it comes to tabletop gaming. I have been staunchly a Games Workshop only player for many years, and this year has opened my eyes to new systems and new companies. Here is some of my favourites that I found. Of course, the biggest this year was Dominion, the latest edition of Age of Sigmar, with a brand new starter box with brand new faction, the Cool Boys. It is a great little box and it created smaller kids, but Games Workshop have started with its Indominus kit, obviously. It has 60 models inside with both Stormcast Eternals and Cool Boys. Not just basic or smaller models, you get two big kits too. Finally, with all that, there is the 300-page hardback rulebook, packed full of lore and of course rules, with missions as well. It's a great buy for anyone looking to play AOS or bigger army games. If we're going to stay with Games Workshop for a bit, because of course there was a new edition of Necromunda Hive War, one of the cheaper games in this list, and it's also a cheaper Games Workshop one. It only came with 2 gangs, which makes 20 miniatures, but you also get scenery. The rulebook is just that, a rulebook. It has some lore, but not very much. There isn't much here when we compare it to other systems in this list. I find, to be honest with you, the new Necromunda Hive War is the weakest one I found this year. And finally, for Games Workshop, we have Aeronautical Imperialis. It is the cheapest on this list. It was £55. It's also the smallest scale and the smallest box. It's an air combat in the 41st millennium. I really like this box, not just because I have an affinity for all things flying and shooty. The rulebook is a basic rulebook. It has stapled binding. The models are really nice because you're facing Space Marines against Eldar. These are my 2 favourite factions in 40k. This really is a niche of a niche, and worth picking up if it interests you or you want to add another scale to your Crusade force, like I am. So, last year, in October, Mantic's War and Hold was released. I had heard of Mantic, but I'd never given much thought. I bought some years ago, but there wasn't much after that. Until this year, War and Hold really turned my head, with the Ratkin and Goblin, Mantic's versions of Skaven and Goblins. 2 forces I like in Warhammer Fantasy Battles, and Skaven in Age of Sigmar. The amount of models eclipses Age of Sigmar with 86 models, and that includes like 4 quite big models. It's a nice box with plenty to build and paint. The rule is actually pretty good with rules and army lists. There is no lore in here, and really it is good for what it does, even though they've got to put the Ratkin rules inside the main book. There is a supplement inside the box, but this seems to be an oversight. That should not have happened in a battle box. I quite like this box and it is well worth a pickup. We continue with Mantic. Another one I picked up this year was Vanguard, a smallish skirmish game. It's a bit like Kill Team with more rules. The models are great and there's a lot of variety here. 22 models basically, and it's technically the smallest outside of Aeronautica on this list. Of course, we got to add the scenery for Necromunda. We got the Night Stalkers and the Basilian. Now they're the best looking on here, and variety and detail is something else. Semantic have shown me that sometimes with Games Workshop you're not paying extra for the better looking models. Semantic have really shown that they can do some of the best sculpts. I hope they keep this up going for 2022. Now finally, I've left the best till last, Wild West Exodus, a game I have fully fallen in love with. And I mean absolutely. There's not an aspect of this game I do not love. The lore is great, set during the Wild West with aliens, interdimensional beings, and so much more. I have read a graphic novel Heavy Rails so many times. I'm starting to read the novels now too, and they're worth a pickup while you're on Raiden Games, because these are going to be gone. They're going to be gone forever. It is enjoyable, and the game is really fun to play. Then there's the War Cradle announced a fully plastic and new edition this year of Showdown and Retribution. This is pitting the Enlightened against the Union. A great kit and a great company. I mean, you get to play with Nikola Tesla, you get Roosevelt, you get Walks Looking, you get many characters from history, and not just the good guys. You get some are from the South too, so you get the bad guys, the bad of the bad. It's nice to see a company do this, and I love it. And I think this is one of my favorite games ever. And I'm not just talking in tabletop in general, I'm talking gaming across the board. Video games too. I would love to see a Wild West Exodus video game. Now, as I was saying, I will be following War Cradle very closely in 2022. Because not only have they got Wild West Exodus, which I like, we've got the ship and a naval game, Dystopian Wars. And that is a smaller scale and it looks really nice. There are many forces that are in Wild West Exodus and some more too. And finally, another game that I've fallen in love with is their horror game Mythos, which is based on Lovecraft. A great little system. Thank you very much for watching. And just to round things off in New Year, War Cradle did some really nice Christmas models. With the one that always sticks to my mind is Madre Navidad. And it just shows that War Cradle does put that extra effort into a game and likes to celebrate the holidays. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this year. I hope you have a great Christmas. I hope you have a great New Year. What are you planning to get for Christmas? What did you get for Christmas if you're watching it after Christmas? And what are you looking forward to in the new year? What games are you looking to get and what models? Anything else? As always, there's a link to Element Games down below if you want to save 25% off your Warhammer. And there is Mantic there as well, I believe. Raylan Games is the only one I've seen do their ones. So go over to their website. I'll drop a link down to them as well before. I'm not commissioned by them. I'm just going to drop that link anyway because I think they deserve the love. As always, it's the last day up to Christmas. I'm shilling my wares, comic and t-shirts down below. Drop them a like. Like I always say, I'd rather you do something like that than hit my Patreon because I'd rather you get something out of it rather than me just getting money for no reason. I'm not a big fan of doing that, but Patreon's there just to add an extra place to put my videos more than anything else. You can catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere else. I'll leave my links down below for there, my pages and my obviously. And I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you have a splendid new year, and I hope you enjoy your hobby no matter what. Remember that your models, paint them, build them however you want, have fun, don't cheat, have a great day, have a great new year, and I'll see you all next year. And bye-bye.